MailleWerX.com, where you can find all your chainmail themed apparel and accessory needs. More to come. Alright, let's see here. See if we can get, there we go. There. Alright. We're just gonna jump straight into work and wait for people to show up. See what happens. What we got so far? We got this piece that we were working on that we're gonna take apart. We got this piece we're working on. We need more triangles. John White has shared your stream. Alright. Let's turn Frank on here. I got some cool stuff. And I got this cool new mat. Oh, we're gonna have fun keeping that clean. Alright. This, I don't know if this triangle is ready to go or not. We may still have some work to do on it. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? Looks like we need one row of keeping it going straight down. How are you tonight, Cheryl? We're just getting things kicked off here. Been gone for a week going on here. Add. It pushed back one of my lights. That's okay. We're not going to worry about it because we're going to have new lights soon. Good. Hot in Brisbane. Is that in Australia? My geography ain't what it used to be. But if it's hot somewhere, could be summertime. Summertime in the southern hemisphere. Could be Australia. Yeah, it's in Australia. Okay. Middle school education has served me well. What's it like down there? How are you guys getting along? Which Australian state is it in? What are the Australian states? Western Australia. Queensland? New South Wales? Is that an Australian state? Is Brisbane? Hey, Brisbane's in Queensland. Okay. I have no idea where that is in reference to Australia itself, but that's cool. There is an Australian chainmailer who does a lot of really good YouTube videos. Oh, and their name eludes me right now. Alright, so is it true that everything in Australia wants to kill you? Because we have some pretty rowdy creatures up here in North America, and oh, it's Tuesday there? Right on. Gotta be on. Oh, wait, it's almost Wednesday here. Okay. My brother is, when I call my brother in the evening, it's always like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and he's in Japan. So you guys are, it's what, 9:02 here? So It's about 10 or 11, no. It's about almost noon there. Definitely not everything tries to kill you in Australia. That's good to know. We've got rattlesnakes and copperheads, grizzly bears. A lot of vicious stuff up here. It's 1 o'clock. Okay, so you're 8 hours behind me. Right on. What are you up to in Australia today? I think I made this 1 row longer than I needed to. That's alright, it doesn't matter, we'll make it all match. What else do I know about Australia? Something about opal mines. There's a really big opal mine in Australia. Watched a bunch of people dig out really big opals there. That was really cool. You're labeling school supplies? Are you a teacher? Oh, I need to fix that. That's no good. Oh, I ruined it. I screwed it up. Here, let's see if I can. I tried to true it up a little bit and I ended up bending it a little too far. Oh, you're okay. You're just getting your kid stuff ready for school. I gotcha. Right on. Yeah, I know my stepdad went to Australia. Renee wants to go and see the Great Barrier Reef. I think that would be cool. Get down there and see some sights. Do a little scuba diving. I don't think I've had a guest or a viewer. Yeah. I don't think I've had a viewer from Australia before. Lots of good things to see there. Yeah. Like crocodiles and Ayers Rock and the Opera House in Sydney and I don't know what else. Great Barrier Reef, of course. Ah, screwed that up. Oh, really? Come here, you. My brother, he went to Australia. Of course, it's like a, I don't know, a few hour flight from Japan where he's stationed. And he sent me a few souvenirs. It's quite nice of him. He's actually back in Idaho right now taking care of my dad. My dad was sick with pneumonia and doctor called me up, told me it was quite critical, and so I drove out there and I hung out with my dad in the hospital and we got kind of a good assessment of where he was. And once they gave him some medication, he started turning around pretty good. He got sick at home and then just continually got progressively worse. So I went out, my sister came out, my little sister lives out there. And then my brother came out this weekend when I was on my way back. So, but yeah, he sent me a little boomerang. All right, let's see if we can true this up without bending the crap out of it. All right, I'm just trying to get the butted ends to match up a little better. I have a decorative boomerang down here in my bar, and a license plate Like if your car doesn't require a front license plate, you can get this. Did he send me a Tim Tams? Is that a food? He sent me some food. I don't remember what it was. This was a really long time ago too. Is that like the thing to get when you're in Australia? Some Tim Tams? Like going to Scotland and getting Earn Brew? It's food. Is it chocolate? I want to say he sent some chocolate. I could be mistaken. He's always going cool places. Like I was in. Hey Barb, how you doing? My dad is doing better. He is supposed to be getting out of the hospital here pretty soon. He should make a good recovery. I don't know about a full recovery. Yeah, it's a chocolate biscuit. Okay, I want to say yes, he sent me some Tim Tams. Not 100% sure, because like I said, it was a long time ago. But no, my dad is doing better. He's got a lot of lung damage. He was quite sick. So... And so he was in the hospital for, he gets out tomorrow. Tomorrow will be like day number 11. So awesome to hear. Welcome back. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. And his dog and his cat were getting progressively sicker. They're quite old, so he was sick, and his dog and his cat were aging. They were at the point of, you know, they're just shy of a natural passing, and so my brother took him to the vet to see what could be done, and I guess they were both just too sick to continue on. So before my dad got out of the hospital, he had to get his animals put down. So that was just kind of the icing on the cake for this whole thing. It really sucks, but then, you know, you get sick, you go to the hospital. Your animals, you know, they can't, your furry friends can't take care of themselves. I think I need to add. So, but my dad will be out of the hospital soon, and he will make a good recovery. So I drove all the way out there. 2 days to get out there and back. Not the worst drive. I had great roads. And I drove all the way across Wyoming without any problems. Took a couple of really bad pictures of the landscape for my truck. There's a lot of really beautiful country here in the States. In Boise, where I'm at, there's an inversion the whole time I was there, so I didn't get any pictures of the mountains. And an inversion is where there is cloud cover over the valley that is lower than the nearby mountains, right? So I could not take pictures of the hills I grew up around. But if you Google Boise, Idaho, you will see it's nestled in the foothills, and it is a very pretty city. And I missed it. Oh, what am I doing? That's not. Was that right? I do believe that was right. Alright. So I got to see my grandma. Got to see my dad. And all in all, my dad is doing okay, and it was a good trip. I'm glad to be back. I'm being honest. I need to remove that ring. I don't think it needs to be here. Maybe it does, but alright. Now this should be long enough. And all the angles should be correct. Yeah. It's not long enough. It's one row short. How did it end up being one row short? Alright. There, that makes more sense to me. Okay. Now it is one row longer than this other triangle, which is fine, because they're all going to be the same length in the end anyway. So, yeah. I haven't seen my little sister in, I think since my mom's funeral. Same with I don't think I've seen my older sister since my mom's funeral. That was 2 years ago. So it was nice to see them. I missed out on being able to see my brother. So I was having some issues with work. I let him know on Friday, yeah, I let him know on Friday that I may have to go to Idaho. So give me the number of the person who can get my FMLA paperwork set up, and I will go from there. So Saturday, I call this person. You know, of course, they're not in the office, right? Wait till Monday. No answer from this person. Tuesday, no answer from this person. Finally get someone to answer on Wednesday. Ask them for information on how to get my FMLA paperwork started. And they said they would send it to me to get it filled out and signed by the doctor. Guess what never happened? I never got any paperwork from anyone. Okay, you know, I can deal with that. That's fine. Here in the States, we have what's called intermittent family medical leave. So if my dad needs someone to take care of him, I can go back, but I have to have the paperwork signed first. And I have to have the paperwork first. Alright. So I've called them again today. No answer. No one's called me back. It's just loads of fun, you know? It's like I gotta get this paperwork so I can go take care of my family if needed. And I don't, just no response from human resources right now. I'm sure they'll call me tomorrow and everything will be fine, but you know, it's like a day late and a buck short at this point because I'm already back home and back at work. Like I said, I may need to take off again, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then my paycheck was 20 hours short, so hopefully that gets corrected here pretty soon. That was awesome, you know, to be 1,800 miles away and get paid. I normally get paid a certain amount, and to have the amount I got paid vastly different than what I am used to. So I let them know today something was up, and hopefully they'll get back to me tomorrow. But other than like work issues, trip was pretty good. Could have gone a lot worse. I did, okay, so I went to go visit there. I went to go visit my aunt is okay, so I drove for 2 days. Each day I drove 14 hours. So from here to my halfway point on the first day of leaving is my aunt's house. And I stopped at her house. Let me show you this really cool thing that her husband, my uncle, gave me. Right? So this is a old school butcher glove. It's got some repair work done here and here, and does you can kind of slide it on. Let's see here. This all the way off. There we go. It almost fits me. The repair job makes it a little tight. Come on. Oh, my fingers are all jammed up in here. What's going on? Maybe I'm trying to figure out which hand I put it on. Was it my left hand? Okay, that is the thumb. I swear, I had this on. My hands don't feel swollen. There we go. There we go. Alright. See, how cool is that? Right? That's, you know, I mean, it's just a butcher glove. It's some welded chainmail. It's got some repairs that could probably be done on it, but like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it as is. This is gonna go in my chainmail collection. I think it's badass. Right? It's mostly European 4-in-1. There's some 1-in-1 seams, right? And you can see they tied it up, you know. It's like, I was just here. When was I last out there? Very nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know? Alright. So, I'm now the proud owner of an old school chainmail butcher glove. Probably has, like, you know, probably needs to be washed. I don't know what's on it, to be quite honest. But it's cool that it came from a family member, and, you know, I have some family connection to it. So I got that on the way out, and then I stopped at their place on the way back. They are rebuilding their, I think it's his parents' house that's on a lake. They did some repairs and some additions, and I believe that was his dad's. So, that's, you know, pretty cool gift, I thought. It was nice just to stop and have lunch with them. They have always lived far, far away from me, and so not a part of the family I really grew up with. We never, like, I grew up in Idaho with my dad's family and all my cousins from that side, and my mom's family was most in California, Arizona, and Iowa, I think is. So we just didn't get to see him that much. It was nice to just go hang out and visit for a little bit on my way out to take care of my dad. So I got that, and then I did take this coif project out with me. I didn't end up working on it. I ended up working on, I don't know what to call it. It's my full Persian wall art piece. I have a Hillshire Farms, go meet. Plastic tin full of, what are those, 20 gauge 7/32 rings. They're machine cut. I didn't know what to do with them, so I just started making this really long full Persian chain out of them. And it is taller than me now. So I did get some work done on that. Because we were only allowed to go see my dad one at a time. Right, and whoever was the designated guest for that day, that was the only person they allowed to visit. So I got to hang out with my dad for 2 days of the 3 that I was there. So I got to hang out with my grandma and work on some chainmail. Let's see here. This is uh-oh. This is my, I think it's about 7 feet now. 7 feet of full Persian. Right? And here. Let's turn Frank on for a second. How to do this? I don't even know. Okay. So it is touching the ground right here. Alright, and I think this is a 7-foot ceiling. And there's probably another 8 inches just hanging on the ground. I don't know how long it's gonna end up being. I've got 3/4 of the tin left to work on, so let's see here. I figure if this is 7 feet and it's about 1/4 of this tin right here that's been used up, right? Maybe 25, 28 feet, somewhere in there. That should be enough to make a nice wall art piece, right? So, I'll think. To get a lot of work done on it. Like, I feel a lot of time, you know, a lot of times you get started on a project and it's just such a large project, it becomes kind of overwhelming. I've had a lot of projects that have done that to me. I am making this the right way, right? Please tell me I didn't screw this up. Yeah, okay. We're good. So yeah, I don't work on it on stream, so it rarely gets work done. And now that I've got that much done, it seems much more accomplishable, you know? Like, yeah, it's gonna take forever, but almost every project is overwhelming to you lately? Yeah, I've got a lot of those lately. Been hard to get stuff done. Of course, I wasn't here to get stuff done, so that kind of contributes to it, but time away from working on stuff, it's a double-edged sword, because one, I want to get it done, but also two, like, you come back to it and you're like, oh man, I'm still working on this. When will this be over? You want to go work on other new projects, which consequently is why I'm down here streaming an hour a night, Monday through Friday, so that I am down here getting stuff done. Right. What are you, Barb, what are you struggling with? Like, is it a particular project or type of project, or is it just anything in general? Anything in general, I understand that feeling. because I have a number of projects. So many that it actually becomes difficult to get to all of them. It's like, I just wanted to do it. That feeling of meh, you're bored. Yeah, I get it. A lot of my projects are very large, right? And that's why they're not finished, and that's why I'm down here, just to get them done, get them out of the way, so I can work on other stuff. But in the meantime, there is stuff I would like to be otherwise engaged in. It's not necessarily chainmail. Like, I follow a lot of carpenters online. Because carpentry intrigues me. Any art where you're working with your hands is cool to me. Especially if I have like no skill at it whatsoever, and people, you know, when they make something really cool, and it's like magical. It always interests me to see how they do it. So I like learning. And of course, all my tools are in the shed. It's freezing outside. There's no place for me to work. You missed my response because your phone froze? I'm sorry. I think I just said I understand feeling bored with a project. I may have said something else, but I don't remember. Oh, I think I went into... I understand feeling bored with project because a lot of these are really large projects that I'm working on that take, you know, hours and hours and hours. And there is other stuff that has been put on the back burner because... Not necessarily because I'm down here doing this, but this is my time to work on stuff. And so I'm doing this and not doing that. I'm prioritizing this over other things I would like to do. Right? I don't necessarily want to sit here and make a coif. I'm just making a coif to get rid of these rings, right? And because I've only ever made one coif, and because it would look cool on, you know, a skull on my bar, right? That I have down here. So I don't necessarily need another chainmail shirt, but I'm gonna finish one because I've got one half made already and I need to finish it to get it out of the way to move on to the next thing. You know, I wanna, once the spring hits, I'll get my tools out and I will start doing more carpentry. Not on this channel's time, right? I will still do this. Maintaining the habit of coming down here and streaming for an hour is very important to me. But yeah, I like watching, you know, people that do lathe work. No one likes finishing shirts, just starting them. Ain't that the truth? I've only got 3 shirts going right now. 2 scale shirts and 1 chainmail one. Right? And I need to finish the scale shirts. Of course, they have split rings instead of regular rings, so they're quite a pain in the butt to connect. And I'm not... The split ring pliers that I have and the scales that I have, right, seem to bend the rings farther than they're willing to come back, right? 2 mail, 1 riveted. You're playing with your new metal lathe today? Nice. So the rings are all, I don't know if my technique is wrong when I open the rings to connect the scales through, but I never could figure out how to keep it so that the split rings like closed back up, I guess. And so they're all kind of bent a little open, which I don't know. Yeah, I will get it figured out. It's a project down here. We will finish it. Like key rings, spin them on. Yeah, I do that, but they don't seem to want to hold their shape. And I never could figure out what I was doing wrong. So I just remember that being a problem when I started working on them many years ago. I'm not that particularly concerned about it. They're just going to be for show. So 2 scale shirts and 1 other chainmail shirt. That'll bring my shirt collection here in the basement to 6, right? And that will be, what will that be? A motorcycle vest, shirt for a friend, and then 3 shirts down here. So that's 5 shirts that I've done, right? For shirt-sized projects. And then 1 more 2 more scale mail shirts and another chainmail shirt. Bring me to a total of 8. These are probably not spring steel. They're just split rings from the ring lord. I don't know what they're made out of. I mean stainless steel, but I don't think they're spring steel. They just don't close back up like a regular keyring does. So, alright. Oh, please. It really jumped up there. I am jacking up some of these rings trying to true them up. So, I don't know if anyone remembers, but before I left to go home, I had injured my knees really bad. Right? Like, I could barely walk kind of bad. And while I was out in my travels, I finally rested them up enough so that I can walk around and climb stairs and go downstairs without feeling like I'm gonna fall over from excruciating pain. That was some of the worst pain I've ever had in my knees. So I get to start working out again, which is nice because I've spent the last little over a week not doing that and eating all my grandma's good food. So I haven't looked at the scale yet, but I think I'll work out for a week and then look at the scale. I just forget about this week. If I haven't made any weight loss progress by next week, that's fine. So I am looking forward to getting back to getting a little exercise in. did have an order out for a mirrored Lazy Susan that was battery powered that's been running around. And I got a notification that it couldn't be sent to me for some reason. I don't know if they were out. I didn't have a chance to go back and check, so I've got to reorder one of those for my bottle wraps. I want to get video of them spinning around looking awesome. It was the weirdest thing. I ordered it the same time I ordered this mat. And it never came. But the mat did. I like the addition to the mat. I think it's a good addition. This combined with some better lights and a camera, which we're going to hopefully get within the next 2 months. I've been talking about it since last year. And I don't mean last year as in like December 31st of 2021. I mean like January of 2021. Oh man, I'm really screwing up these rings when I try to true them up. The mat helps see size far better. Good. Yeah, what are these? 1-inch squares? Actually, I don't know. I think they're 1-inch squares. Yeah, down here there are numbers. Doesn't say inches anywhere, but they're 1-inch squares. Okay, we're good. You're jelly. Hi Barb, have a good night. We'll see you later. Thank you for stopping by. From Jelly and May will order one for yourself. Right on. I don't particularly need to measure anything, but I'm sure that it gives the viewer like a frame of reference, you know? Like, how big is this? Oh, it's about 2.5 inches. Here, do it this way. About 3 inches wide, almost. Right? I don't know. So, I'm back at work. I still don't know what I think they accepted my medical exemption. They haven't bothered me about getting any shots, so I don't know what's happening with that, but I was able to go to work today, and despite my paycheck issues from last week, I think that they're going to pay me for today, so. It does little to show the true scale of the rings and the size you make your project. Seeing the feet grow is so pleasing. So yeah, that was a fun. I got a fun bunch of emails from work while I was back trying to get everything taken care of for my dad. Not that I did anything, right? Like, I was just there for moral support. Okay. And I got this group of emails from work going over all the new policy details regarding the CMS mandate for healthcare workers. And so I didn't think that I was going to be allowed back at work, but I emailed them and said, hey, I'm gonna go see my patients, so I'll just keep going to work and hopefully they'll keep paying me. We'll see what happens. North Coast Armor Jewelry has liked the stream. Thank you, North Coast Armor Jewelry. They do good work. If you've never been to their Facebook page, go to the North Coast Armor Jewelry Facebook page. Sandra, I think, runs it. It's so hard to keep track of everyone and their pages. and having a terrible memory doesn't help. So, all right. So here's an interesting development. While I was home, I stopped by my dad's place, and his dog, his poor dog that had to be put down, was sleeping in front of a closet I wanted to get into, and his dog was very old and very sick, and I didn't want to disturb the dog. And I don't know the dog, so I also didn't want to get bit, but it didn't seem like that kind of dog. I wasn't too worried about that. I just didn't want to bother the dog, right? Back in the day, when I used to live in Boise, I used to go to a fencing class. And I had a rapier with, you know, an actual unsharpened rapier blade, like something the Three Musketeers would have fought with, not like an epee or a foil, right? And the fencing instructor made me a sword belt and a frog with which to hang my rapier, and I had taken the handguard and the pommel off and the handle and put it on another flexible blade that was even, it's like the whole blade is, I don't know, maybe a centimeter wide, and the profile of the blade is a diamond, and it's blunted on the end, and you can practice swinging swords at each other, right? Really forget what type of blade it's called, but you know, it's a practice blade. Well, I had that, and then I had this rapier blade. So the handguard, the pommel, and the handle, and the scabbard, and the sword belt, and the flexible practice blade were all in the back of my car one night, and they got stolen. My fault for leaving them in the back of my car, right? Can't ever get that leather belt back. It was very nicely made. I was quite upset about it, but I still had the original rapier blade. Okay. And I left for the army a long time ago and didn't take it with me. I also had a battle axe that I did not take with me. And I've asked my dad about it, and he didn't have any clue what I was talking about, right? And we're talking, this is like 20 years ago, minimum. And I have not been home with a vehicle. I've always flown before. And so I didn't really think to go look for this stuff, because it wasn't like I could carry it back with me while I was in the army anyway. They kind of frown on you having large battle axes that are sharp in the barracks, and swords. So I just left it alone. I thought my dad had taken them to Goodwill or thrown them away or something, because I didn't figure he knew what they were, and I just assumed he'd gotten rid of them, because he could never find them when I asked him about them. Well, my brother and my sister were cleaning my dad's place today, getting ready for him to come home. They sent me a picture of this battle axe. It's like, holy crap, I thought that thing was lost forever. I was like, is there a sword blade laying around nearby? And they were like, yep, and a blowgun. I was like, oh, I completely forgot that I had, it's like this two-piece, you know, chintzy blowgun. It works, and if you use it on anyone, it's gonna leave a mark, right? But it's not like a high quality piece. So I am very excited to get those, specifically the rapier blade, back. so that I can put a new handle, pommel, and handguard on it. The battle axe, it's just a decorative weapon. It's cool, but it'll look good on my wall. You could hit someone with it, I'm fairly sure, and it would do some damage, but you wouldn't be able to hit them very many times. You know what I mean? Like, so I was very happy to have that discovery happen, that those things were still around, you know, because I thought they were long gone. So the rapier will be a nice, interesting project, because I will have to make a new sword belt, a frog, and a scabbard for it. Kite ray axe? No, it's not a kite ray axe. I don't know what to call it. It's just a double-headed battle axe. Don't ask me what brand or anything. Really just a wall hanger, but it's cool. Got a big spike on top, big half moon blades. It will go well with the chainmail and the tomahawks and the daggers and all that stuff that I have down here. But I definitely need more weapons and more musical instruments. Oh wow, that is jacked up. He's a fantasy. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. No one in particular. It's just something out of a catalog. Well, garbage. Ruined it. I think the only fancy blade I have is a Gilhibben throwing knife. That I could never get it to stick in anything, so I don't know. One of my projects is I got my kit a BB gun, right? And we got the target box for the BB gun. You know, I'm gonna put a target on it. But we've been stacking cans on top and shooting those, right? I want to get him a kid's bow and arrow to shoot in the backyard. And then I would like to have a large target with which to throw knives and tomahawks at, just for fun. You know, come over to my barbecue. Instead of playing cornhole, we can throw knives at this target board. If you can make the guard you desire in foam, you can cast for in brass or aluminum. Maybe. You know, that was always one of those things, like after the practice weapon got stolen, it was like, okay, how do I get another handle and guard for it? Right, so then it became, oh, I'm gonna have to make one, you know, most likely. So that may end up being what happens. Not a project I'm opposed to taking on, but it's one of those I would have to go and learn some new skills for, which is alright. Those are fun. All right. I'm gonna have to tumble this for days. That's all right. This is... a lot of these are TRL rings. Well, these are all TRL rings, right? I'm not gonna be ordering too many more rings from them. There's too many burrs, the rings are not the correct shape, and there's better manufacturers out there for the right price. So, all right, where are we at? Just shy of an hour. I don't want to start another row. We're about halfway done. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.5 triangles done. Right. Plenty more rings to work with, and then this whole I went out to go visit and butcher glove. 5 minutes. One seams, some repairs that could be done, the open areas. Anyway, so just, you know, cool family heirloom that I picked up in my travels. A lot of fun. Alright guys, I am glad to be back. My dad is doing much better. Hopefully he will continue to progress. I appreciate everyone coming to visit and all your support. Alright, I'm gonna close it out for the night. White rubber glove filled with glowing BBs, wall mounted. That's not a bad idea. I mean, you could just like fill it with BBs and then kind of seal that up real easy. I should just fill it with BBs just because that's funny. Right. So I'm pretty, you know, I would like one of those old school, like, what do you call it? German silver chainmail purses. Or like a Tiffany's chainmail purse. I think Tiffany's made them. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know my chainmail purses, but I would like something like that to add to my collection. I think that's badass. Alright guys, thank you very much for hanging out. I do appreciate you being here, for all the likes, comments, and shares, and all the interaction with me. Don't forget to check out MailleWerX.com for all your chainmail themed apparel and accessory needs. We do have more stuff up. We're getting more t-shirts up. I'm trying to think of clever designs, clever sayings with good designs as quickly as possible. So I will get all that up for you, and hopefully this year will be a record year for MailleWerX with lots of new and interesting stuff for you guys. So with that said, I will see you guys all tomorrow night, and if not tomorrow, at the latest, Wednesday. Alright, you guys all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you all later.